Hi and welcome on this beautiful day. So I have been to both the Cheney factory outlet shop and the Loake factory shop in Northampton in a place called Kettering. And I first of all went to the Cheney factory outlet shop, as you can see in this picture. Unfortunately, they were quite busy at the time, so I wasn't able to get measured for any shoes as such, but was quite amazed at the price difference in there. So at Cheney's, shoes that would normally set you back £500 were half price, seconds, with just very small blemishes, shall we say. So they were available at like £250. My time was very limited in the Northampton area. There's quite a number of factory outlet shops, from Crockett and Jones to Church's, Barker's, I believe as well, amongst others. I think there's probably 7 or 8 factory outlet shops. But time was limited, and I then made my way to Loakes and managed to buy these shoes in their outlets shop. And these are Loake Elmsworth black Goodyear welted Chelsea boots, and again just very small imperfections. In fact, I don't think even the camera will even pick it up. Let's have a look. You might just be able to make out a slight mark there. Let's have a look on this one. Again, it's very hard to see. You might have the slightest crease. Just there, just very small. You can hardly see it. And I'll just show you what I paid for these. So these should have been £319, and I paid £159. And I even managed to buy, again, I think they were literally a third of the price off, some shoe trees as well. So again, an absolute bargain, considering they are half the price. Now, I've obviously got these shoes, and obviously I don't know how long they've been in the store for, or the factory. Could have been there 2 years for all I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish the one shoe up, just to hydrate the leather. And we'll go through the stages quickly, purely because it is a new shoe and I want to protect the shoe. Loake did tell me it's not essential, just to make sure it's nourished the leather. Interestingly as well, I was actually sized up as a size 7. Now I normally wear a size 8 in trainers, 8 to 8.5 in Brook Adrenaline trainers, and they sized me as a 7, and they said to go for a 7 purely because as I break in the shoe it will seem more like a 7.5, and then we tried a 7.5 and they said this is how it will feel after it's been broken in, and they recommended the shoe tree and wearing thick socks. So I've literally just been wearing them in the house at the moment, to try and break them in, and they do feel a little bit tight, but obviously I'm only about 2 or 3 hours of trying to break these in at the moment. And I went for a rubber sole because I'm going to wear these for my work, purely for the grip. And I've been told I might get 7 years out of these Goodyear welted rubber soles. So let's just start with the process first of just hydrating the leather in one of the shoes. Right, so I'm just starting with my Sophia Renovatar. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this. Again, we don't need much of this Renovatar, and this just helps to hydrate the leather, nourishes the leather. Again, these shoes are new, but again, we don't know how long they've potentially been sat in the outlet, but this is just to give it the once over. The way I see it is best to do this to start with. You could argue, is this necessary, but I don't think it's not going to cause any harm. And again, I'm not using much, so I'm going to coat that in, and then what I'll do is I'll leave that, let that dry. So because it's so hot today, that's dried off relatively quick. So all I'm going to do is get my horsehair brush, and I'm just going to give it a quick buff, get some friction in there. So yeah, I would recommend anyone to check out the shoe factory outlets. Now obviously when you go, they won't have every size, they only have the sizes that they've got that are seconds. So you do take your chance, but if you do fail in one of the shops to find your size, then you know, then there's always other shoe factory outlets in the Northampton area. I think they're literally within a few miles of each other, and some are far closer, probably even walking distance of each other. I think that would do. We'll stop there. So next I'm going to apply this Sapphire Creme 1925 in black. Again, this will help nourish the leather, add some colour as well. Now we could argue, is this necessary? Is this really necessary on new shoes? So please feel free to comment if you feel this is overkill on a new pair of Goodyear welted shoes. Again, I am using this quite sparingly. Don't be worried if you get it on the welt, the end where the sole, Goodyear welted sole attaches. I'm told these can be resold by Loake themselves. I think they charge, is it £9,500 maybe? And they can be done, I believe, again, comment if this is wrong, up to 3 times. It'd be interesting to see if I do get 7 years out of this sole if I'm wearing them every day, obviously using the shoe tree to help prevent any creases. So again, we'll just stop the video and let that work. So again, I've just allowed that to dry. So we've done our Creme Sapphire 1925, and again, getting my horsehair brush, and I'm just buffing that off to generate some friction. Again, it really helps to have a shoe tree whilst you do this. There. Right, okay, so our next stage is to apply some of this Sapphire Medal 1925, and this is polish, so this will help protect the shoe from the elements. Again, don't need a lot, just using this quite sparingly, to be honest, and this will help give it a shine as well. Ideally, you don't want to be wearing your best clothes like I'm wearing here. Again, it's a hot day, so I am expecting this to dry very quickly. And as well, I guess another reason to apply this is it will help to soften the leather, to help break the shoes in as well. I think that would do. Okay, we're back again. Let's get our horsehair brush and let's buff that off. And I'm hoping we're going to start to see a shine. Okay. Make sure we do the back. So I've just applied a third and hopefully final coat of the Sophia Medel polish. So we're just going to buff that up now. This is the third coat I've applied. And I'd just like to highlight how good the service was at the Loake outlet shop. Phenomenal service by the people that work there in measuring me up and really spending the time to make sure they listened to what I wanted, which was a pair of boots for work, and making sure I was satisfied, I was never pushed. And again, if you're travelling in that neck of the woods, it's definitely worth going there, because you're going to save, as I have, £150. So just really buffing that up. Don't know if you can see, we are now getting a shine. I'm sure we can see that there. Hard work. We're nearly there. And I think now if we just compare the two, so the one I've applied Sophia Renovatar to hydrate the leather, then the Creme 1925 Sophia, which gives it a bit of colour and also nourishment, and then the Sophia Medel 1925, which protects the leather from the elements. Right, let's have a look, let's compare them. Okay, here we go. So the one here is the one I've worked on, the one on the left is the one I haven't. And I think you can tell, I'm hoping the camera can pick that up, there is a now shine to that leather. So this one, which I've worked on, comparing it to the one I haven't. So this one I haven't worked on. I'm just hoping the camera can pick that up. So we can take this a step further and apply a product called Sophia Admiral Gloss that gives a mirror shine, mirror finish to the toe cap, which is just here. So all we do is get a bit of squirty water, just a little bit of water on there, and again just using a very small amount and just applying it to the toe cap. We don't apply it further up where there's a crease in the shoe as you wear it, because it would crack, and it's quite laborious, so I'm just working it round and round and building it up. The mirror shine is actually a harder substance of polish, and you really don't need much at all. It's just literally get your mirror shine once and then go over, let it dry, and then round again. And again, this could take me a long time. It eventually should hopefully look like I can almost see myself in the leather, hence why they call it mirror shine. So we'll just stop the camera and then we'll come back. Right, so about 20 minutes in, and I'm hoping you can see the shoe that I've worked the mirror shine on, which is this one, and obviously the one I haven't. Just try and bring that in a bit closer so you can just get a good view of the two. You see it shining, almost, you can almost see my reflection, see my hand. But if I do the one I haven't, you won't be able to see my hand reflection, but the one I have you can see, and the one you haven't. So yeah, you can definitely see. Let's see if we can get a better shot of the two together. There we go. There we are, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.